You know, so out of the seed line of your father is what that blessing you're gonna get. You know, so if you had 20 acres, all right, and you had 3 daughters, all right, those 3 daughters had to marry somebody in your family of the tribe of Issachar, all right, saying myself, all right, to put myself in the equation, all right, if I had 3 daughters, all right, and I passed away and I didn't leave a seed behind, all right, which is talking about a male, ban, a son, all right, then those 3 daughters, all right, say I had 3 brothers and 1 sister. Out of those 2 brothers, all right, or 3 brothers, all right, if they had male sons, my daughters had to marry one of them or marry somebody out of the tribe of Issachar if I didn't have any siblings, all right, or even of the daughters of my sister or of the sons of my sister, all right, because more than likely my sister's husband would have been an Issacharite, so that's how they kept the lineage by the father's seed line, all right, and the Most High did that from the beginning on purpose, all right, so there would be no confusion, man, because the Most High proclaimed the ending, all right, the end from the beginning, since the time of Enoch. So that's why it says the sons of the Most High, the sons of God, all right, came into the daughters of men, all right, because they weren't just keeping Salakia, they weren't just keeping with themselves and their families, all right, they were looking at these other nations like, damn, she don't look too bad, because back then, I remember back then, man, going to school, there wasn't any, women of these other nations that looked good to me. They were all skinny, or extremely, big. They weren't pretty, But nowadays, you have these other women from other nations, and, they look pretty thick. They look good, all right? They're clean, And sometimes you desire a woman that's not of the nation of Israel, And that's fine if you're keeping with the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, because what happened to Solomon, all right, was that he was keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right? And he had all kinds of concubines, all kinds of wives, all right, Israelite women. But then he started having women of other nations as wives when they should have been concubines. All right, when they should have been kept, in a different place. He treated them like Israelite women. And eventually, all right, because if you marry a Buddhist woman, all right, say you're in the truth, or before you come into this truth, say you marry a Buddhist, all right, a woman that believes in Buddha, or a woman that believes in Shiva and the Indians with the dot and all that stuff. Say she believes in that stuff, man. All right, and then you marry her, and then you come into this truth, and then you realize this stuff. All right, but she doesn't try to fight it with you or anything like that. All right, but she's still gonna have that mind process of what she was raised. All right, she's gonna bring it into your house. She's gonna be praying to her gods in your house. You see, and that's what eventually happened to Solomon. Because these other doctrines, they may intrigue you. All right, you might listen to it a little bit, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. When we're in this truth, you may listen to it, you're like, huh, that's interesting. All right, and then you start pairing it with the scriptures, and you're like, hey, they got that from here, they got that from here, But then when you go too deep into the water, you start to drown, man. You start to drown in their doctrine, and then eventually you're dead. All right, you believe it. You what they preach. And then you let go of that beautiful thing that made you an Israelite to begin with. All right, which is the power to listen to and follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know? That's what eventually happened to Solomon. Solomon started following after those women, all right? The doctrine of those women, you know? And that's what caused him to sin. What caused him to sin wasn't having women of other nations. What caused him to sin is by bringing those women into his house and marrying them and calling them his wife and treating them like Israelite women, all right? And having them place their false gods in his house, till eventually he started going with that vibration and he fell for it. You know? So it says, Salakian, and that's what verse 2 was talking about, man. All right, the daughters of men, all right, were good looking to the sons of God, the Israelite men, all right? Which would be nowadays. Nowadays, you see an Israelite man, and he might be with a Edomite woman, a Moabite woman, an Ammonite woman, all right? Jake go into whatever he wants, man, you know? But when you don't have that knowledge of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, when you don't have that mindset firmly believing in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be shaken and moved, you know? If you're not rooted, submerged, baptized, you know? Especially if that heathen woman was already married, all right, and she had children with that other heathen man, all right? You're not supposed to take in a woman like that, man. You know? Where was that? The book of Ezra. I want to say it was Ezra. I forgot what chapter though. But in the book of Ezra, all right, you have Israelites that were coming out of captivity. All right, they were trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, they were trying to follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know. But then you had these other Israelites that started marrying, all right, which you're not supposed to marry. All right, they started marrying heathen women, you know. And those heathen women had heathen children. And you had the Israelite men that were just taking them in and treating them like if they were Israelites, man. All right, which is going on. And that's why Ezra was pissed, you know. And he proclaimed a fast, and he caused those that were married to divorce that woman, you know, to send them back to their nations. Let me see. Where is it? Chief Babylon reigned, Artaxerxes the king, the son of Phineas, the son of David the Tunish. To end of the way because we had spoken power and wrath that have forsaken so achieve. Watch ye, keep them to the ways. Yeah, this is Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. Now when these things were done, the princes came to me saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Jebusites, all right, which are all Hamites, and the Ammonites and the Moabites, all right, which are Hebrews. It says, and the Egyptians and the Amorites, all right, which are Hamites. So you had the children of Israel that were, you know, even after they proclaimed the fast and they started coming back to their power, they started marrying those women, all right, that had heathen children, all right, taking them in, you know, because of their idols and all that stuff. It causes a man to err, you know, and that's why the book of First Ezra talks about women having strength, all right, but the truth being much further stronger than that, you know, because like Yahweh Shai said, all right, or one of the apostles, you know, even through a woman, men have erred, all right, because of a woman. So it says, verse 2, and they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, you see, so that the holiests have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers hath been chief in this trespass. You see, so you had Israelite rulers, all right, great men of renown, all right, that took it upon themselves to go and start having women and taking in sons of other nations, man. All right, when the Most High doesn't want that. The Most High wants Israel number one, and all the nations fall under Israel. You know? That's how he wants it. He doesn't want a world united, all right, in kumbaya, everybody singing together, and we're all Israelites. That's not how it goes. All right? That's not how it goes, man. That's not what the Most High wants to see. All right? He doesn't even want all Israel, all right, to wake up to this truth. You know? It's only for the elect. Then eventually, because he loves all Israel, all right, eventually all Israel will be saved. All right? Because they're going to dwell in safety. You know? So it says, man, I love when this happens. All right, this is Judges chapter 21 and 8. And they said, what one is there of the tribe of Israel that came not up to Mizpeh to Yahweh? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword, with the women and the children. Verse 11, and this is the thing that ye shall do. He shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath lying with men. All right? It says, verse 12, and they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had known no man by lying with any male, and they brought them unto the camp of Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. All right, so those are the spoils, man. You know, but all right, you have that's what you're supposed to take in. All right, you don't take a woman that's beautiful, man. The water, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, but yeah, in Judges 21 and 11, it shows you don't take in women, all right, that have laid down with men or that have children. All right, you don't take those women in, man. You know, you take in virgins is what is the custom. You know, but the nation of Israel was barely being risen up, and they were already over here trying to take in, other nations in. You know, which is not how we do it, man. You know. So it says, Genesis chapter 6 and verse 2 again, that the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. All right, which wasn't a sin. All right, it wasn't a sin what they did when they started taking in wives. But the Most High clarifies in verse 3, and Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for he also is flesh. All right, so who is he talking about? Because the Most High is not flesh. All right, the Most High is not flesh and bones. All right, that he's gonna start having aches and his what is that called? His joints are gonna be hurting. All right, and when you sit down for too long, or when you're getting older, they become fragile. All right, he doesn't get cramps. All right, the Most High is not flesh, man. It says, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. You see, he also is flesh. Also like what? Like the other nations. All right, you had the righteous, even though they followed Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, yet they're not perfect. All right, like Isaiah said, even with all my righteousness, yet are we still as filthy rags. All right, because we're flesh. We're not perfect, But also he said it because of the idol worship. All right, because when you start taking in these other nations and putting them in with you, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. You see? So if you have a little leaven in the land of Israel with the children of Israel, what's going to happen? Everything is going to become leaven. All right? The whole lump is going to become bad. And that's what happened to our nation. So that's what Genesis 6 is talking about. It's not talking about some colossal giants, man. It's talking about men, righteous men, on the right side, on the right hand of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that were doing good and started taking in women from other nations. All right, and in verse 3, it says, my spirit shall not always thrive with men, for they also are flesh. All right, just like the heathen, all right, and just like the sons of the wicked. They're all flesh. And even though we have the spirit, yet we also are flesh. All right, that's why at one point we were stupid enough to get tattoos. All right. That's why at one point we were stupid enough to eat bad food, do bad choices, do drugs, because we're in the flesh, man. All right, these chains of darkness. So it says, yet his days shall be 120 years. All right, so this is the book of Luke 24. Let me get that one first. Luke 24. Landed right on it. Luke 24 and Luke 24 and 36. I'm going to start off there. And as they thus spake, Yahushua himself stood in the midst of them and said unto them, peace be unto you. Verse 37. But they were terrified, affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a spirit. All right, they thought the Lord was a ghost. All right, they thought as they were eating and the Lord presented himself and said Shalom, they turned around, they were like, oh, what is that? You know, they got scared. It says, verse 38, and he said unto them, why are ye troubled, and why do thoughts arise in your hearts? All right, meaning in their mind. It says, verse 39, behold my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Handle me and see, for a spirit hath not flesh and bones, as ye see me have. You see, so when the Most High said, all right, they are flesh also, he was talking about the righteous, the elect, all right? Because we are flesh, man, you know? And the flesh is going to want worldly things, fleshly things, all right? But the spirit is going to want spiritual things, you know? And that's why we're not always all happy and jolly like regular people, man, all right? Like the rest of the people. We're not like that, all right? Because our spirit clashes with our flesh, all right? We want to be more spiritual, all right? The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, you know? So let me bring this John 3 and 6. John chapter 3. Let me line up this other one too. This is John chapter 3 and verse 5. Yahushua answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High. All right, and we read how, Salakia, we read how this is likened unto water, you know? This word is likened unto water. The prophecies is likened unto water. You know, therefore will I pour out doctrine as prophecy. All right, this doctrine is likened unto water, you know. So unless you're born of the scriptures through the Spirit, you can't come into the kingdom of heaven, man. It says, verse 6, that which is born of flesh is flesh, but that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. You see? So flesh can't inherit the kingdom of heaven, man. You know? But if you're already grown and you know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai turns to you, all right, and he knocks at your door, all right, your mind, and you turn to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, and you accept him into your house and you sup with him and you grow with him, all right, then will you receive the Spirit, all right, that is going to cry out, Abba, Father, to Yahweh, you know? And it's spiritual because that also proves, all right, that we were going to start speaking Hebrew, you know? The Lashawan Kodash, which is the holy tongue. It says, I think that was it on that one. Yeah, so let me go to Matthew 26 and verse, let me start off at verse, let me start off at verse 36. Matthew 26 and 36. When Yahushua cometh with them unto the place called Gethsemane, and saith unto his disciples, sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. All right? It says, and he took him, Peter, and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. All right? Because that's how you feel in this truth, man. You feel sorrowful and very heavy. All right? And Yahweh Shai's burden was that he was going to be sacrificed, all right, for many, all right, for the elect, you know? And for that great multitude that follows. So it says, verse 38, then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt. All right? So it's neither of him that willest, all right, but it's of the Most High, man. You know? So Yahweh Shai was praying, you know, for that burden of being the anointed to be taken from him, all right, because he was afraid, man. He was heavy, like, damn, man, I'm about to endure some heavy shit, man. You know, so it was heavy upon him, and he prayed to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, or to Yahweh, all right, which proves Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are two separate entities. All right, how is he going to go and pray, hey, Father, it's me, you? All right, that doesn't make sense. You know, they're two different entities, you know? So as Yahweh Shai was praying, he said, not as I will, all right, but as thou willest, you know, as the Most High wills. So continuing on, it says, verse 40, and he cometh unto his disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what, could you not watch me 1 hour? All right, he was trying to have somebody to have compassion with him, all right, for his mourning, all right, for his heaviness that he was feeling. But the Most High didn't want it that way, all right? The apostles, they needed to see a strong leader, man. So sometimes you just have to go through shit by yourself, you know? The best that a brother can do is just pray for brothers, all right? But at the end of the day, that road that leads to everlasting salvation, all right, is a straight gate, you know? And in that straight gate, you can only enter one at a time, you know? You're not going to enter by piggybacking off a brother. You're not going to enter with a brother dragging your ass into the kingdom of heaven, man. All right? You're going to be walking, and you're going to be moving because there's going to be somebody else walking behind you. All right? And if you're not moving according to the Spirit, all right, taking the correct steps, you're going to fall either onto the fire or you're going to fall into the water, man. You know? So it says, verse 41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right? Even though those righteous men in Genesis chapter 6, all right, even though you had righteous men, sons of God, all right, that were willing to follow Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, yet their flesh is weak. So back in Genesis 6 and 3, and Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. All right, even though we are the sons of God, all right, even though we believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we pray in the Hebrew, even though we read the scriptures, even though we try to increase in wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and we try to know the heart of Yahweh more and more, yet are we still flesh. All right? So we're not saved by the law, because the law was made for the flesh. All right? So Yahweh Shai, since he was perfect in the law, and he was spiritual towards Yahweh, and he was still put to death, now are we saved by the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and by the Spirit. All right? But that doesn't mean that the laws that were done for the flesh are done away with. That's why we establish the law to the best of our abilities, and we follow the law to the best of our abilities. You know. So it says, verse 4. All right. There were giants. All right. This is the main point of the whole lesson, man. All right, because I was going through verse 1 through 3 to prove that it's talking about men. All right, Israelite men, sons of God. All right, those are the sons of God. You see, so it says, verse 4, there were giants in the earth in those days. All right, but it explains to you how those giants got there. It's not super huge, colossal men, but instead it says, and also after that. All right, and here's what it says. When the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare them children, or they bare children to them, all right, to them, you see, it says, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. All right, so we established who those mighty men were, right? All right, there was giants in those days, and even after. When the sons of God, all right, on the right hand, came into the daughters of men out of the nation, all right, and they bear children to them, the righteous. All right, those are the giants. You know, that word giant is the Hebrew word napayal, all right, which is a bully, a tyrant, all right. When Esau and Jacob were born, or before Esau and Jacob were born, all right, there was an angel that prophesied and said, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people in thy belly. The one shall be stronger than the other, all right. The one that was strong is Jacob, the sons of God. Then the other, the sons of the wicked, even the other nations, you know? So that word, giant, napayal, all right, means tyrant, a bully, you know? When you're strong, when you're big, all right, and you see other people as inferior to you, all right, they're gonna do what you want. That's what happened with Nimrod, right? Nimrod was a mighty man. He was probably tall too, big and strong, you know? He was a hunter. And what did he do? He became a king, a leader, all right? He built Babylon the Great, or Babylon, Salakia, Babylon, all right? And as he built Babylon, he built little towns or little cities in Babylon, all right? And they also talk about the flood, you know? The Sumerian tablets, all that stuff, that was done in Babylon, all right? Gilgamesh is Nimrod, you know? That was that mighty man that people looked up to, you know? So they spoke of the flood too, man, which also proves that it's true, you know? But anyways, the sons of the righteous, all right, the sons of God, which are the righteous, all right, they were big men, strong men, you know? So they became leaders, you know, of high rank, tyrants, rulers, you know? And sometimes, you know, you abuse your power because you're in the flesh. So you become a bully, you know? But it's talking about men. It's not talking about some, you know, huge, you know, skyscraper-like people, man. It says, there were giants, so that's what the giants are, all right? There were tyrants or bullies, It says, in the earth in those days, and also after that. All right, so if it was after that, then that means they should still be here, right? All right, those sons of the sons of God should still be here, man. You know, and you see them. They go out to the highways and the byways. All right, those are the righteous of the sons of God. You know, those are the sons of God. Salaki, you know. But you have, you know, strong Jakes that become bullies, man, just because they're big and strong. You know, you have that in every nation, not just Israel. All right, but you have that in every nation. But at the time, it was the sons of God. All right, which were the prophets, the elect. All right, and their sons that they mated with other women out of other nations, they bear them the righteous children. All right, and those children became giants, mighty men. All right, and it breaks down giants into mighty men. So it says, and also after that, when the sons of God, all right, which we see who the sons of God are, all right, but we'll go to Baruch 4. Baruch, Jeremiah. Now let me set these aside. Sirach was Baruch. Tobit, Judith. Where's my song? Let me get back. Four. And let me get this one. This is starting off with 1 John chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of the Most High. And everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of the Most High, when we love the Most High and keep his commandments. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. All right, so jumping back to 1 John 3 and 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High. All right, so the children of the Most High are the women and male, the male and females of Israel. All right, but the sons of God, all right, are the elect of Israel. All right, the righteous men. Ban means son. All right, so let me read that again. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 2. Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, Yahushua, it says, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. All right, because in the twinkling of an eye, all right, our bodies are going to be transformed into spiritual bodies. All right, this is Baruch chapter 4 verse 36, O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. All right, that's when the Most High is going to come back. All right, and he's going to take us up, man. It says, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. All right? Thy sons come together. All right? Those are the sons of the Most High. The sons of wisdom. You know? So it says, let's see if there's any more. Oh, Khan. Psalms 84, 82, Psalms 30, 50, 60, 70, 82, and 6, John 10, 34, Salakia. This is John 10 and 34. And it reads, Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? All right? Is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? You know? So if we're the sons of the Most High, and Yahushua was talking to Israelites, and he said, ye are gods, what does that mean? That means Genesis 6 was talking about Israelite men, spiritual men, all right? Men that followed Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know? It wasn't talking about, you know, some giants that, or some actual angels, all right? Angels don't marry, you know, as it is written. Angels are not given into marriage, man, you know? Because spirit has nothing to do with flesh and blood, man. You know, so it says 10 and 34, Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law, I said, ye are gods? All right, Psalms 82 and 6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. You see that? So the children of Israel, all right, male, female, they're children, all right? But the sons of God are the elect of Israel. You see? So in Genesis 6, when it tells you, verse 4, the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. All right? The same became mighty men. All right? Is Israel not great? You know? Is Israel not great? Who is the number one? All right? Who are the number ones when it comes to MMA? All right? Who are the number ones when it comes to boxing? You know? Who are the number ones when it comes to pro soccer? The number ones when it comes to football. The number ones when it comes to basketball. When it comes to strength, it's Israel, man. You know, those are the mighty men. You see? But most importantly, the elect are the strongest because they possess the truth, which the truth is the strongest source in the whole entire universe, man. Because the truth comes from the Most High. All right? It says, bear children to them, All right, so let me get Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 17. Hebrews 2 and 17. Let's see here. Hebrews 3. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 17. But when he was in Rome, he sought me out very diligently and found me. Oh, so like that's Timothy. Hebrews 2, 17 or 16. For verily he took not unto him the nature of angels. All right, Yahushua didn't take the nature of angels, but he took on him the seed of Abraham. All right, which is the flesh. It says, wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to the Most High, to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. All right? Is Yahushua not seen as a God? You know? Yahushua is a God. What is that? Isaiah chapter 9? Where it talks about that, I believe. You know, Yahushua is a God, man. You know? Because that word God means power. Alright? And Yahushua is very powerful. You know? So it says, Isaiah 8, 17. Isaiah 9. I can't find it. This is Isaiah chapter 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. And ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left, ye shall defile also the covering of thy graven images of silver, and the ornaments of thy molten image of gold, and thou shalt cast them away as a menstruous cloth. Thou shalt say unto it, get thee hence. All right? Because we're putting away the old man, you know, and we're being renewed in the mind, you know, we're being submerged into this truth, you know, becoming the sons of God. Let me see. Isaiah 5 and 20, It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteous of the righteous from them, the righteousness of the righteous from them. Therefore the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff. So their root shall be rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of Yahweh of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of Yahweh kindled against his people, and he has stretched forth his hand against them, and has smitten them. And the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this, his anger is not turned away, and his hand is stretched out still. You see? So just like he punished us during the time of the flood, all right, which is around the time of Genesis 6, all right, just like he punished us in that time, he's punishing us now, all right, because we're still not keeping what we're supposed to keep. We're still not doing what we're supposed to do. And our people are teaching that the law is done away with, you know, which is not done away with. You see?